Hello everyone, good to be here with you again on the good old Facebook. I'm just going to talk to you again this morning about our aquaponics design course. Now we're in the middle of the registration week right now. It's Wednesday. The course opened for registration on Sunday at 9 a.m. That's local Australian time, that is. That was about 5 p.m. I think Saturday night for the USA West Coast and other parts around the world. We published the different times there for that, and I'm sure most of you have made it in to have a look at the course outline. But this morning I want to just show you what it looks like inside the course, for those of you who are wondering what it looks like inside. So I'll just quickly change scenes here and give you a look at what the course looks like inside. Now this is what it looks like inside. Once you register, you get immediate access to this. The system sends you back an email straight away and gives you access with a password. And this is what you'll see when you come in. You'll see the welcome screen. And there's a video from myself, and you can see there's a whole host of people there that have already joined the course, and in fact it goes on for several more pages. So there's a lot of people who have joined up the course already, so the course is filling up, and that's what you see on the thing. So when you sign up though, you will not see week 2, 3, 4 and 5 and so on. I'll just click on this so you can see it goes right the way through to week 8. There are bonus videos and Murray's Shorts. That's a whole lot of short little videos that we've collected over time that we put in there as well. And the bonus videos, they're great. We've got in there, I'll just click on that for you. You can see we've got our 3 absolutely amazing DVDs that we've been selling now for 8 years all around the world. And if you haven't already got those, then because you join up to the Aquaponics design course, you'll get access to those to watch online within the system. So you can see Aquaponics Secrets, 1 hour, 50 minutes, almost 2 hours. Aquaponics the first 12 months, 115 minutes. There's an IBC build in there, a special section, which goes to 46 minutes. How to build a beautiful little IBC kit system. Absolutely fantastic. If you want to build a decent, small home system, that's in there. Also a section on airlift pumps. Now that, I'll just stress to you, that's not actually part of the course. So I won't field questions and answers to that. The material you get in that is what you get. So there you can see there's a whole lot of stuff in there. Now, let's just go back to the welcome screen again. And I just want to show you, there's a course in every week, every module, there's a download section like this at the top left-hand side of the page. Or if you're doing it on your smartphone, I'm not quite sure how it shows up there, but it does show up. And there is, you click on that and you're able to download that particular PDF. And this one's Welcome to the Course PDF, which has got a whole lot of instructions on how to use the course and so on. Questions coming in already. Jody asks, when will the next design course be scheduled? Last year we ran 3, but this year we'll probably only run 2, I think. See how we go. It's a lot of work, and whilst it's very satisfying for me, it is a lot of work. Maybe one later on in the year, not too sure about that. Afil says, course money is too high, should be decreased charges. I'm sorry to disagree with you, ARI, if you will, Afil. The course money is not too high at all. In fact, many of our students, once they've done the course, they say that if they'd have known how good it was, they'd have been happy to pay double. You only get what you pay for in this world, I'm afraid, and the course is very, very comprehensive. And I can say without fear of any contradiction whatsoever that this is the world-leading course without a shadow of a doubt. And unfortunately, I'm sorry if it doesn't fit into your budget, but really, if you do sign up and you do register, you'll find it worth every cent. But I understand what you're saying. Courses cost a lot of money these days because they cost a lot of money to produce. I mean, this took us over 12 months of filming, traveling around the world, filming different farms, editing. Frank, our business partner in this venture, spent hundreds of hours editing all the film. As you'll see the quality of it when you go into the course. You can see the quality of his work on the Facebook page alone. Just see the wonderful work he does there. That sort of thing takes hundreds and hundreds of hours, and we just simply have to recover our costs. We can't do otherwise, I'm sorry. Okay, let's move on. If anyone's got any other questions, you couldn't find the PDF, you'll find it. I'll just let me switch for a second here to something else for you to see. Look, there on the screen now, you should be able to see where you can see the PDF. aquaponicsdesigncourse.com. Now, if you want to write that down very quickly, aquaponicsdesigncourse.com. You can see it there. I've made the A, D and C in capital letters to make it easier to read, but it doesn't matter if they're caps or whether they're lowercase, it will work anyway. So, Sonim, I hope that helps you find it. There you go. Okay, we'll just switch back to this one here, and let's talk a little bit more. Now, you'll see a section for conference calls. So every week we do a conference call. And after the conference call is completed, we record it, and then we put the recording up here. So if you're unfortunate that you've missed it or whatever, you can listen to it later on. So over the course of the program, there will be 8 conference calls go up there, maybe an extra one here and there if we feel it's necessary to explain something, and you will get to be able to listen to those. So that's a wonderful thing. Week 1, let's just have a look what week 1 has got in it. And you can see it starts off with a video, and you can see down here. Now look, just look at the beginning. Chapter 1, Course Handbook PDF. Now, every week there's a course handbook. And if you just click on that, you go down to here and you'll see Handbook Module PDF. That's where you download it from. And also, in this particular week, we give you a monitoring chart so you can write down and start monitoring what is happening with your system. It's quite a comprehensive chart, and you can just print it up and use it straight off the system. So every week you'll find that we give you a course module, a handbook module. And the idea of that is that follows the week's process through the meetings with written material, so that if you copy that all the time and 3-hole punch it, put it into a folder, then at the end of the course you will have a fantastic manual. And of course, if you're smart, you'll put notes in there against the manual of the different parts of the course that you found interesting or you needed extra information on, and that kind of thing. So there you go. Okay, okay, done, blah, blah, blah. Not very many questions yet, but anyway. Let's keep going. So every week, that's how you get the course handbook. Every week you see it there. Okay, so there you go. Week 2, and so on. It comes up, and away you go. Now, I stress to you that when you register and go in, you will not see all these weeks. You'll only see week 1, conference calls, welcome, conference calls, and week 1. And every week on Sunday, Australian time at 9 a.m, we release the next week for you to get into. So there you go. Now, those of you who have already registered, and I told you this the other day, those of you who have already registered, you will have access to week 1 immediately. But because this is registration week, week 1 officially starts next Sunday, Brisbane time, at 9 a.m. So you'll still have all those people. Let's imagine you signed up next Saturday night, for example. Then you're going to have a whole week. So we have to do it that way. Week 1 is registration week, then week 1 follows immediately on. So take the opportunity, those of you who registered early, to go back over the material, download the course handbook week 1, and get stuck into doing the study and making really good, accurate notes. Now, I've already had hundreds of questions, maybe 100 questions already. There's a lot of them in there. People are asking questions about the lessons already, so that's great. I just want you to understand that this course is actually an event. It's not just a collection of random videos. It's actually put together in what I like to call a progression of learning. We start off at week 1 with the very basics of aquaponics. Those of you who don't know the first thing about it will be able to learn all the basics as you go through there. And look, honestly, we have people who have been doing aquaponics for 2 and 3 and 4 years who join the course, and they come back often and say, gee, I learned stuff in the first week I didn't know before. So that's great information. So that's what happens. It's progression of learning. It's absolutely an event. Okay, let me look at my list here. Also in the course, we give you a number of free plan sets. So this week in week 1, there's already a download for the what we call the Bathtub Kit. The very simplest, lowest cost system you can do by getting a couple of old bathtubs, and we show you how to put it together, and the pump you'll need, and the pipe you'll need, and all that kind of stuff. So many people start off with that one. Great starting point. In week 2, we give you a more elaborate, much nicer looking home system. The plans for that, there's 4 videos in there that show you how it works. Week 3, there's more material we give you that progressively gets bigger and bigger until finally you get up to week 7 and 8, where we give you full-blown information about building a farm and how to do it. So you see, it's a progression of learning as you go along. Now, I've already had one guy who signed up early in the week. He's already been running a system for about 3 years, and he wants to build a farm right now. And that's wonderful. I admire the keenness of it. But he wants to jump right through to week 8 straight away. Sorry, can't do that. We have to go through and build the knowledge. And as I assured him, he will discover stuff that he didn't know before. And he'll find ways to tweak his already existing system and make it perform really, really well. Okay, let me look at my list here again. Don't forget the 3 DVDs. I've already shown you that. We take you from beginner to a commercial farm person if you want to do that. You'll save money. The person that earlier asked about the price, look, that's a really good point. You by joining a course and doing some formal, proper, staged learning, you will avoid a lot of mistakes. People make some tragic mistakes. We have people all the time come onto our Facebook page and ask us questions. This is not working, that's not working, why isn't it working? And then they go to different Facebook pages that don't really know what they're talking about, and they get all sorts of weird advice from people. You'll avoid all that heartache just simply by doing a well-done course. Here we go. Catherine says, would you show a preview before buying? You're seeing it right now, Catherine. You're looking at it. We're showing you exactly how it all works. And if you go to, let me click it up here for you. If you go to Aquaponics Design Course right now, you can download and look at the course outline in full detail. So there you go. I'm glad you logged in because now you're actually seeing a course preview. That's great. Jean says, do I touch on Dutch buckets? Yeah, only very, very slightly. There's no great mystery to Dutch buckets. They're usually used by people who are really short on space in home systems. Our farm in Hong Kong, they experimented with some for a while just to experiment with them in a bit of spare space they had in the corner of the greenhouse just to see how they went. But no serious commercial farm would use them. But they're great in a home system where there's not a real lot of space and you want to try and grow some plants. Good idea. Okay. Now, I just want to tell you about the business tools that we provide. Towards the end, in week 7 and 8, we start to provide you with some really good business tools. In week 8 in particular, we spend a fair bit of time talking about how to plan your system, how to create a proper business plan. Now, some of you, in fact, a lot of you, may need to get finance if you want to build a farm. So you'll get that either from a bank or from family or some kind of investor. So these people want to see that you've got a rock-solid business plan. So we go through all that for you so that you can develop a rock-solid business plan to take to your bank, to your investor, or to your family, whoever's going to help you finance the project. And that's very important to have that. Now, this spreadsheet is very elaborate. It's got 18 pages to it, in fact, right through from, accumulating your costings, stocking density levels, and then, of course, how much money you expect to get for the produce, and how that operates all the way through to show that you can run your business at a profit. And, of course, we're very, very strong on encouraging you to be extremely conservative in all your estimates. Don't put your rose-coloured glasses on and think you're going to sell all your lettuce for $5 each or something. Be very, very conservative about your numbers, and you want to be able to see that it actually works in a worst-case scenario. That's what we're trying to encourage you to do. Because, quite frankly, I don't want to see any failure stories. I want to see success stories. We don't want failure stories. Okay, so there we go. AYOT, Ayot, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Hello, sir, you say I'm looking forward to seeing you in Nepal. Nepalese youth really need this course. Yes, that would be great. I'd love to come to Nepal and have a look at there. I've never been to that country. If we've got enough people together to cover the expenses, I'd definitely come. Wonderful to go there and see that. Thank you for that question. Has anyone got any other questions right now? Right, getting to the end of my list of things I wanted to cover this morning, I just want to tell you that it's a wonderful ambition to have to do aquaponics. As you look around, if you're a budding business person, there's so many people want to go into business and they look for a business niche that they can find, that they can be a little bit unique and do something that not everybody else is doing, and they can do something that's really good for the planet and good for themselves. And I'm telling you, aquaponics is that kind of business. I'm not going to promise you'll make $1 million. No way. But you can have a wonderful lifestyle doing something that's really, really good. Good for you, good for your family, and good for the planet. So there you go. Oh, hello, someone from Arizona has just chimed in. Great. Lovely to see people from Arizona. What time is it there right now, Alicia? It must be about 9 o'clock at night, is it? What size property would you need to have an antagonist farm? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Simon. Well, a really big aquaponics farm covers 1 acre. That's a big one. And, you'll have a staff of 8 or 10 to run that, a farm that big. Depends how big you want to go. But most people agree that to have a mum and dad style farm, so the two people can do all the work themselves, maybe with the help of one person maybe, and derive a reasonable income from that. You need about 300 square metres or about 3,000 square feet of greenhouse space. That would be the minimum we'd recommend for someone who really wants to do it and derive a living from it. Mind you, we know some people. Hello, Candy in Texas. Great to see someone from Texas. And Frank from Castaways Beach is watching. So to have a farm that gives you an income, it depends on you really how much you want to do. Someone says, Ty says, hi sir, this course will teach us how to design for a small urban farm. Absolutely. We will show you how to design a system that's very, very small on your back patio or on a balcony, right the way through to 1 acre farms. Not a problem, and everything in between. And you'll see how interesting it is, how we give you the tools to do that all the way through. Okay, Benjamin says it's 8:15 this time in Phoenix, Arizona. 18:15, sorry. So that's 6:15 at night. Oh, great. I thought it'd be later than that. Good to hear from you, Benjamin. Thank you for that. Okay, so has anyone else got any questions about this screen that I'm showing you right now that you'd like to ask? So now's the chance to ask questions before I go and do some work. So any questions to be asked there? Okay, someone else says they're watching. Great. They don't say where from. Ecuador. Great, from Ecuador. That's good. Miguel, happy to have you online. Okay, back to this just before we go, if there's no more questions. Back to looking at this screen again. Just to remind you that every week there will be a conference call, and that comes in right here. And it will just load. It's taking a second to load. And there, after we do the conference call, I record them when we do them. And then about an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours later, Jane puts them up in here and you can see them as an audio recording so you can listen to them. Yes, Benjamin, I've just talked about that. Yes, we do have business plans we can use and learn from. Very, very elaborate. We have 2 different Excel spreadsheets. One is quite simple in its approach, so we encourage people to use that in your initial planning just to see how it will go. And then we have an extremely elaborate spreadsheet. I'm telling you, it's very elaborate, 18 pages, and it has everything in it you can imagine so that you can do a complete, watertight, rock-solid business plan to take to your friends who you're going to ask to help you fund it, to your bank, or to your investors. So, you know, that's all provided, and we basically show you how to use it. As nature intended, Josh, yes. Well, you know, these days some people object. You know, we have some people say, oh, you should be doing all this in the soil. And that's a good comment to make, because it would be good if we could do all this in the soil. But there's a lot of places in the world now, in fact, it's becoming alarmingly big swathes of former farmland, good farmland, is totally wrecked because of the overuse of artificial fertilisers, insecticides, and all sorts of poisons. The farmlands are totally wrecked. And there's farmlands that are in the process of being wrecked. Like, for example, our Great Barrier Reef here in Australia. The massive use of artificial fertilisers for the sugarcane industry and the runoff, when there's heavy rain of that goes into the ocean, is just damaging the reef. Now, the farmers, to their credit, are learning ways to overcome that, but luckily they're doing it early rather than late. But there's a lot of places in the world where that's already happened. For example, we've seen people build aquaponic systems in inner city areas on old disused basketball courts and tennis courts, in slum areas and low socioeconomic areas. You know, there's all sorts of places where there's no soil. There's just no soil. So this is an ideal technology for that kind of thing. And the other thing about it too is that it's highly concentrated and it's high intensity. So you can grow an awful lot of produce in a very small area. So that's another great advantage of doing aquaponics. Okay, what else have we got here? No other new questions coming in right now. So if that's all the questions we've got, that's all I've got today. But look, I'd really, really encourage you, if you've got the slightest interest, take this opportunity, because when the class is full, it's full. And that usually happens about Thursday or Friday in the week. We'd ask you to get busy there and register, because I can absolutely guarantee you'll have a great time. Oh, one thing else I need to tell you, absolute watertight guarantee. If within 7 days you look at the course and you're not happy, full refund, no questions asked. Not a partial refund, not a little refund, a full refund, no questions asked. And, you know, you might sign up and find after a few days your dog dies or someone gets sick or something. I don't know what happens. You need your money back. Within 7 days, not a problem. So you've got that absolute ironclad guarantee from me personally that we will refund your money if you find the need for that. So the lady asking earlier for a preview of the course, I'm just looking back here where she was. Can't just find it now, it's a fair way back. But that lady, I shouldn't really encourage people to do this, but if you really want to have a good look at the course, sign up, pay your money, then after 7 days ask for your money back. Hello, you've had a whole week to really go through week 1, even do the lessons, have a look at them, blah, 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 you can do that. But the risk is for you is that you'll enjoy it so much you'll hang in there. There you go. So, okay, thank you, everyone. We'll see you again next week when the course starts proper. We'll come back on here to Facebook and tell you how it's going. And from then on, we'll be talking directly to our students via our conference calls. So no more questions? No, last chance. Thanks.